Back with the Infinite GT Manufacturer Series, and this week we're here for you from Dragon Trail Gardens. I was about to say live then, I nearly said live, we're not live. Everyone gets away well then. It's the Citroens that are making the early impression, but the Mercedes of KB does get away well from that second spot on the grid. Spada's got a little bit screwed there off the start. The P1 spot was on the outside, which is never where you want to be. Total Rose though, flying start from him. He's already up to P5. The BMWs that do traditionally struggle to get off the way, they're getting swallowed up at the moment. We're getting Equipants and Pilo in 8th and 9th. Let's just jump back up to the top of the field, see if we've got any overtakes happening down here. I've got Dano looking down at B rated, but that's not happening. Fat Pickles, Bro and Fabuki starting to dance. Then you got the two BMWs that have had the bad start, but their race pace should be pretty good. Especially being driven by those two guys. We've seen what their capability is as the Aston Martin kicks up some dust. Coming into the not hexagon. Seems like everyone is through pretty much an entire first lap, all in one piece. Is Dano going for a move here on B-Rated? B-Rated's locked a brake there, that has let Dano go up. And it's a Mercedes 1-3 at the moment. With the two Citroens running 4th and 5th. It's Total Rose starting to lose out then as Fabuki gets his McLaren up there. We'll have a look at tyres in a moment. Some of you may have already been looking at that. I love Dano's new livery, by the way. The Trust Pilot, would not recommend. I can't read that on the bike. It says everything is fine and there's a little bit of text. I can't read it because of GT Sports. They don't render anything in any good detail outside of the editor when you're actually in a race, so can't read your car, mate. Don't know what it says. Oh, Equipants, what's happened to Equipants? He's flown up the order. So he was 7th. So he's here tangling with the two Citroens. So that's Total Rose there on the left. He sticks it with Total Rose. Total Rose looks like he backs out of it. The BMW gets a little bit of a kick there, but it rides it well. Then it gets past the other one, has to back out of that. And Equipants then already past two Citroens and two corners. So that's some good progress being made there by the BMWs. Citroen's just starting to fall off a little bit. As Pilo just goes a bit too deep. Probably still trying to work those tyres into a workable window. And then Rick is just waiting for an opportunity, really. Looks like every driver Equipants is on the softs. That might explain his lightning pace. So KB and Equipants, the only two drivers using the soft tyre. Everyone else out there on the medium getting that tyre out of the way. Because of the length of time GT Sport mandates your pit stops must take now, it has kind of nullified things a little bit, really. So a lot of the drivers now will just have to fuel save and stretch out. You don't want to have to pit any more than you really have to. I mean, the BMW's decent at fuel saving, but a lot of these drivers would just be in the top tier, I guess. A lot of these drivers, I would be brutally honest and say they are top of the tree when it comes to fuel and tyre saving. So KB then driving the Mercedes, leading the field. Spada's second, Dano is in 3rd, Fabuki in 4th, chasing them down there. Then we've got Equipants on the soft tyre, so he will be trying to make a move past the McLaren. He should have better pace. Oh, we've got one of the Citroens off. That's B-rated as he just hit. As B-rated had a bit too much sausage for breakfast this morning. He might have done Watch for the kick off the curb. Oh, and it throws that car off into the forward. He manages to do a decent job of keeping it, and we've got tow rows having a completely separate issue as well. Oh yeah, he just... You got a right tank slapper on there. The tow row just about manages to keep that car under control. But he's going to potentially lose a couple of positions. Yeah, he does. P-low and Fat Picklesborough managed to make their way past Rick's, got himself past B-rated now. So all change here in the midfield. A little bit further up, Fabuki's been chased down now by Equal Pants. That BMW should have really good pace at the start of this stint. A couple of good overtaking opportunities here at Dragon Trail. We'll probably jump on board for a lap with someone in a moment, actually, to give you an idea of what a lap at this circuit is like from a driver's eye perspective. Jump on board with the one and only Mr. KB. Actually, we'll jump on board the roof of the Mercedes. So turn one then, in this format, a flowing left-hander, but it seems somewhat never-ending. So you start to turn your car in, and then as you hit the last Dragon Trail sign on the right, dab the brakes, turn the car in, hug the apex, look for the 100-metre sign here, hard on the brakes, down to second gear for KB. I see a lot of people riding third through there as KB's getting some, we're getting some rather bad glitching from KB's side. German internet connection, but he rides the sausage as well then as we go down the back straight. Biggest braking zone so far then, but you're braking about 110 metres here. You want to just try and just tap this curve here on the left hand side, and can get on the power earlier then for the S's than you think you should be able to. Just to dabble the brakes, steer the car in, try and keep it right, give you the best angle for the left hander coming up. This way you carry speed downhill to the not a hexagon corner. Look for the Dragon Trail sign on the left and start to just feed the power in as you go through the corners. Flat through the last two then as you start then to climb back uphill. It's an uphill braking zone for the last corner, which immediately, sorry, for the penultimate corner, which immediately feeds into the last one. So you're braking about 110 metres, but you carry quite a lot of speed into the first part of the corner, and then you start to pick up the throttle halfway through the second, and that is a lap of Dragon Trail Gardens on board KB E36. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of glitching. Let's have a little bit of a recap. So we've got Spadders in P2 now. We've got LS Deno in third, Equal Pants fourth. He is ahead of the McLaren now. The McLaren in fifth, Pilo sixth, B-rated in seventh, Fat Picklesborough in eighth, Total Rose in ninth, and Rick's had a disaster somewhere. Let's have a look and see what's happened to Rick. So this is where Rick's night got a little bit harder then. So we're 5.5 minutes in, 4 laps, and he just puts the power down just a tad too early. Spins the car around. He's got a little bit of damage as well. That should sort itself out. He was running in P7, so he's lost 2 spots. But we know that Total Rose gets past him. So how does Total Rose do that? Oh, he's still got a bit of an imbalance in that car as he scatters them stewards with gravel. Manages to get that Honda back under power again. Yeah, that's it. With 6 minutes in, we've started to establish a little bit of an order now, and that's what you tend to find happens with these races. It is worthwhile at this point segueing into one of the league's, I want to say sponsors. It's not a sponsor, it's just something that we're in the league with, in association with WeAreDriven, as you will see splattered over all the cars then, the WeAreDriven logos. Also in partnership and in support, importantly, of It's Okay Not to Be Okay. You'll see the little logos on the cars as well. You can see on the back of Deno's car. So they're the charities, I guess, that we're running this league in support of. trying to raise awareness, do what we can as a community. You can check out WeAreDriven on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, you will be watching this on YouTube actually, because I ain't uploading this to Twitch. If you look at the video description below, you'll see a link there. You can go and check that out for yourself. Go and have a look and see if that is a little bit about you. In terms of the race, 50 minutes Dragon Trail Gardens, usual format in terms of race duration. Usual rules as well, so the drivers have to use two different compounds of tyre during the race, and a minimum of 3 timed laps to be run on each compound. So you can do that however you wish. Of course, some drivers have started on the soft tyre. That's the optimal one, that's the one they want to spend the time on. It's a faster tyre, yes, it does degrade a little bit faster, but it does still maintain its speed, even though it does wear out. It is still a very quick one. Oh, Pants has got himself past Spadders. When did that happen? Pants is the man making all the overtakes today. Oh, he just gets a really good chicane. The BMW loves this. Even if you smack the curb, it can ride it. So he gets a beautiful drive then on the Honda, and the Honda's just got no answer. Just a much better drive out. Pants gets it nice and tidy down at the hairpin. Front and rear brakes glowing on the M6 GT3, and away he goes into P2. I don't know if you can do anything about KB. KB is 8 seconds up the road at the moment. He's just gone. KB, don't forget, is the other driver on the soft compound tyre. So the two drivers running the softs then in first and second. Most drivers will probably try, I mean, I have no idea how this race goes, but I'd imagine most will probably want to try and stretch a one stop out. I'd imagine it will probably be faster. Of course, we'll see what they decide to do. So first is buggered off, but second, third, fourth and fifth pretty close together then as we just jump on board with Fubuki. You can see second, third and fourth right up ahead. He's on the medium tyre. The car leading this little pack is on the softs. So if this little pack can stay with that BMW, and that BMW has to take its slower tyre at some point, these guys are all going to be a little bit faster. You can see Fubuki just taking the cautious line there. It will lose him a couple of tenths at worst, I guess, but it's pretty much eliminating the risk. Both Citroens have been having issues there all night. You see their dyno just goes just a little bit too deep. And that does allow Fubuki just to catch straight back up again. So yeah, you'll see different drivers having different approaches to that particular series of corners. You really don't want to get it wrong, but at the same point, taking the cautious line through there is slower, as you would expect it to be. If it wasn't slower, they wouldn't be doing it. So a lot of these races, as we're starting to see nowadays, are sort of dictated to in the pit stop phases. Idea when we might see some of these guys in. Brain tells me halfway point, so 20 minutes in we'll start seeing some drivers pit. Looking at the fuel levels and the fact we're only 10 minutes in, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that fuel's going to be an issue for anyone that's wanting to one stop this. A lot of cars are at or below half a tank. And we're 11 minutes in, which means doing that one-stop strategy is going to be very difficult, because you need to make your car last 25 minutes for a full tank of fuel for a one-stop to work, and we're not even halfway there yet. Some may be able to do it. The Citroens may be the only ones in the field really that have the fuel-saving ability to do that. B-rated probably having the most out of everybody right now. Rick GTR's got a decent amount left, to be fair to him. Spada's not done too bad of a job either, but everyone else pretty much at or below half a tank now. So Fabuki has really reeled in Deno. So the Mercedes just starting now to get caught by the McLaren. The McLaren not able to utilise its advantages. Mercedes that just squats down and buggers off out the corners. He's able just to start running away with it a little bit, and Fabuki, he did look for the move. The move appeared to be potentially on, but he ended up backing out of it. So we'll see again just how different. You see Fabuki's line there, he's just avoiding that red sausage curve completely. And you see Deno got a little bit unsteady, then someone else further up got a little bit unsteady as well, because we saw the puff of smoke. Fabuki's just filling Deno's moves. Oh, he was going for it then, you know, he was having a look. Fabuki not happy about something. Let's do a little bit of an instant replay and just see if we can see what he might not be happy about. I think that was more of an apologetic flash of the lights rather than you've done so, because I think Fabuki just got it was looks like it was a little light on the brakes to me. The Aston Martin, of which we've only got one of them running today, in 7th place. We're starting to see quite a bit of field spread though in this one. Whether we'll see it all come back together again as the pit stop phase closes out, not too sure. Rick's got half a tank left exactly now, so yeah, Rick's looking at that. Rick's looking favourably at that one-stop strategy. I think a lot of other drivers might have to two-stop it. Spadders might be able to as well. We've just got Fabuki again attacking Deno. You see the Mercedes just taking a few more risks by running those sausage curbs. If you get your line right, it's a faster line. It's B-rated pits. First car to do so. So is he going on to the softs? He's coming with half a tank of fuel remaining. So yeah, that's pretty much nailing on a two-stop then for B-rated. So right, he comes on a set of softs. Oh, we've got a spinner. We've got a spinner. Who was it? Who done it? Who done it? It's Total Rose. It was it? Yeah, it was Total Rose. And again, the Citroen can't run them curbs. Maybe it's too highly sprung. I'm not too sure, but it does not enjoy them at all. And every single time these boys have been going near those curbs, it's been really just throwing the car off. They have not been able to do anything about those curbs at all. A lot of the other cars that we've been seeing, EcoPants has been doing it all night. A lot of the other cars have been running those curbs absolutely fine. Absolutely no issues really. Fabuki then, next car to pit in. Quarter of a tank of fuel for Fabuki. Pilo in the BMW, similar story for him. And Fat Pickles is also going to pit, so yeah, a lot of these drivers now popping themselves into that two-stop strategy. I'd imagine Deno would also have to do the same. There's enough fuel on board these cars; they can keep going. It's not an issue. pits as well. We did think Rick might be going for the one stop. Apparently not. Oh, cold tyres for B-rated again. It's that same chicane. They really don't like it. So, the top 4 have not yet pitted. That is Deno, Spadders, Equipants, who does now pit, and KB. So we're just going to be left with the top 3 to pit yet. Got a feeling we might be seeing some slightly different strategies take place. A lot of drivers have got that medium tyre out of the way, so their options are thrown a little bit more open now. We might just be seeing 2 very fast stints on softs, or 1 big fuel saving stint on the softs and manage those tyres as well. Spadders out the pits comes Spadders to P3. Equipants to P4. So that's the difference between fuel saving and not fuel saving there on track. That's just how much it's worth. Equipants has got a lot of work to do now. He needs to catch up and try and overtake Spadders on track again. So we've seen KB in the pits. He's strapped another set of softs on there, so he's going long, I think. He's got to take his mediums yet, so he'll probably do that right at the end of the race. So he's just using this stint to just bolster as much of that lead as he possibly can. Just keep it nice, clean, consistent. He was doing brilliant lap times all the way through the last stint. Mid to late 30s most of the time. That's given him a healthy lead then, even over someone like Spadders. Honda could only muster into the 31s. So now he's on the softs as well. So yeah, a lot of these drivers then to stop him. We're going to see that Equipant still on the softs, so we've got another round of pit stops to come pretty much. I don't think anyone really made it past the 20-minute mark before needing to pit for fuel, so we are going to probably see 2 20-minute stints on softs and then a 10-minute stint on the mediums for most drivers. If they can get away with running a little less than 10 minutes on the mediums, they will do just that. They are a fair bit slower. As everyone else now starting to dip into the 30s. Now they're on the soft tyres. Obviously we've got slightly higher fuel loads now as well. We should have refilled those tanks a little bit. So yeah, everyone managing to just creep the pace up just a little bit now. That might give KB something to think about. But as long as in a race like this, it's just all about really trying position, because everyone's got to pit again. No one can really make it on 0 fuel. That track position, you might as well go for it. We've got a battle brewing near the back then. Total Rose has been catching Rick. Rick looks to have just made the odd error as he's gone through. He's lapping in the 32s. Total Rose going into the 31s. So yeah, the Citroen is catching the Honda. Not normally a sentence I'd ever thought I'd say out loud, but here we are. It's B-rated. Trying to chase down Fat Pickles Bro. Pickles in the Aston Martin. No, I can't really suit it to this. It's too big and lumpy, but he's wrestling that thing round. LS Denner, one of the later cars to pit. So 2 Mercedes came in a lap or 2 ago. They were the last cars in. LS Denner now out on softs P6. Impressive drive so far from Equipants. He's really ragging everything he can out of that BMW. It's quite well suited to this track. It's not the worst car for this one. It's A short wheelbase makes it quite handy around the twisty corners. It does lack a little bit of straight line speed compared to some of the other cars, but it's not enough really to notice it. It's decent on the brakes, it's not bad at fuel saving. It's one of my favourite GT3 cars, that BMW, quite easily. One of my other favourites, the Mercedes, being piloted at the moment by KB-E36, leading the race. It's a long-standing joke that KB doesn't like that car, but he's doing well enough in it. He's leading the race. Everyone as he come through. Right, mid-stint time again. We'll see if Rick and Totoro, see if anything happens in this little battle. This BMW is looking at taking another scalp here, and it's going down the inside of Spadders, is it? Now he's backed out with that move through turn 1, maybe thinking better of it for this corner. Turn 1 not the greatest overtaking opportunity, much better just waiting for the chicane. Let's see if that car makes a mistake. If it doesn't, oh, and it has made a mistake there. Spadders just caught a little bit. It looked like he caught a little bit of the grass on the inside. I actually didn't fully see what happened there because the angle was terrible. Did he turn in just a bit too early? He did, yeah, he did. Just caught. Must have just caught the inside wheel with that sausage curb, and it was just enough to put him off balance. And that's let the BMW of Equipants through into P2 again. So BMW's now going to try and push to build a gap then to Spadders. Easier said than done, I'll be brutally honest, but he'll try his best. We have this battle brewing as well. It is brewing away nicely. Totoro's has been slowly but surely catching Rick over the last couple of laps, and surely going to be. Oh, as he jumps like he's getting brave now, you see. Yeah, he's going to be in a position very soon to do something about that. Maybe go on the attack. Starting to get a little bit closer then between Rick and Totoro. The Citroen's been making steady progress. It seems to be much more composed through the first chicane than Totoro's really a lot closer. Takes that, nails the sausage then. He's not afraid of a bit of sausage, and that's going to give him the run on the Honda as he gets down the back straight ahead of the NSX. Oh, Totoro's up to P9, back on the racing line, just tries to outbrake the Honda. The Honda quite tidy on the brakes as well. Got a feeling in the remaining 12 minutes or whatever we've got this race, 20 minutes, yeah, 20 minutes, we're going to see a lot more action between these two boys. Oh yeah, might come sooner rather than later as well, as Totoro's just makes a bit of a mess of the exit going over the brow of the hill as he enters the not a hexagon. He's got Rick GTR all over him like a fat kid on a cupcake at the minute, and the Honda's got a much better run out of the not hexagon. I'm going to have to think of a better name for that corner. And as we do the uphill braking, both cars get that nice and tidy. Totoro's does just keep his advantage for the time being. Let's have a little bit of a recap through the field. I think we've seen most pit stops now. We may have a couple to come in. We know a couple will pit near the end just to run the mediums, but we'll see how that transpires. So gaps are being built at the moment then, but importantly KB, the Mercedes hating German, is leading the way by quite a distance as well. Then you've got Equipants in the BMW. Don't forget he got past Spadders a lap or two ago because Spadders just got the first chicane a little bit wrong. Spadders has been threatening ever since and has just put his fastest lap of the race as he's been towed around there by the BMW. 1:30.6 for the other Honda driver. Just improves that to 130.5 as well. Then we've got Fubuki, P4. Fubuki is always a threat in these races. Can manage his tyres really nicely. We'll see what he can do towards the closing stages, of course. Then we've got Pilo in P5 in the other BMW, with LS Deno in the other Mercedes in P6, with his would not recommend TripAdvisor on the side. Fat Pickles Bro, Aston Martin, the only Aston Martin that's here today, P7 for him, with B rated, not far behind in 8th. These guys could close up. He's within striking distance if a mistake is made, B rated. And Rick's back ahead of Total Rose, so these guys changing positions yet again. What happened here? So here's Rick Cam of the overtake on Total Rose, and again that Citroen's very nervous over the curbs. Struggled to gather that car back up. They did very well not to have any sort of contact there at all. That just shows the calibre of drivers we're dealing with. That did let Rick back into P9. This time it's the turn of Total Rose Cam for an overtake as he goes for that move back on Rick through the long sweeping left hander that is turn 1. You just use this to get your positioning right for the chicane basically, and that's what Total Rose is looking to do. He's got the inside line. Rick could hold this though. That'll put Total Rose off for the next section. Total Rose backs out of it. Gonna go for the cutback. Yes, he is. Lovely move there by Total Rose. Rick was just trying to force him into, not a mistake per se, but a slower line. Total Rose just played the Uno Reverso card on that one, and back up to P9 he goes. Rick though, straight away in the brakes again, the Honda, straight back through. Total Rose goes a little bit wide again, manages to hold on to that Citroen. As soon as it goes near a painted curb, it does not like it. I don't know what tyres are on that car, but it's got a Michelin livery on it, so Michelin have got some explaining to do. That car does not seem happy. As soon as the balance is upset in that thing, it is all over the shop. The Icklepants Spadders battle has simmered just a smidge. There's more than a hair's width between the two now, so that's what I'm calling simmered. Still relatively close, and we have still got Fubuki lingering away in the background as well, but he had a slow last lap of 33.6, lap 21. That could actually bring Pilo and Deno back into the fight. Deno has been catching Pilo, and the Mercedes is eyeing the BMW up for some sort of move. And you've got these two at the back that are just quite happy, kicking 7 bells of living crap out of each other. In a nice way, of course. A lot of their overtakes have happened down here. Oh, again, just Total Rose, you learn your lesson by now, mate. Just stay off the curbs. Just whenever it goes near them, just don't like it. We've got Spadders in the pits then. The first person to pull the trigger. Spadders then thinking about the undercut. The undercut, for those of you that are wondering what I've just said, is when you come in a lap earlier than your competitors, you then go out on fresh tyres, clean air. Your out lap should then be faster than your competitors in lap, and you then get the overtake made in the pit stops. Fat Pickles Bro in the Aston Martin also pitting. He's low on motion lotion, so out comes Spadders then, set softs on that car for him. I've not been keeping note of who's taken what tyres, so I'm sure you will have done a better job of that watching this video. But with just 15 minutes to go, I highly doubt he'll be pitting again, so I'm going to assume that he has already taken them. So that gives Fubuki a little bit of clear air as well. Obviously he made that mistake on lap 21, but he redeemed it pretty much straight away over 30.7. He is going to have to pit soon actually. Icklepants isn't far away from a pit stop. He can probably stretch it another lap or so, and KB's got over a quarter of a tank, so we'll see what KB does. He's not going to be able to stretch that amount of fuel the entire remainder of the race, but he's probably going to want to at least get another 5 minutes out of it really. Icklepants is going to go again. Fubuki's going to have to come in now. So we'll see what he does. Pilo also pits. Deno's going to stay out. So now Deno has the chance at the overcut, which isn't that strong at this track. Getting an overcut is quite difficult. because your lap time, you are very tyre limited at this track. Once your tyres go, your lap times drop off a cliff. So if Dano's tyres don't hold up, Spadder's out, then P4 for him, but it's on the road P4, not a net P4. Everyone ahead of him is of course yet to pit. Rick and Total Rose then just having to get out of the way of back markers. Total Rose probably diving out of the way a little bit more than Rick did, and Rick's picked up a second or two, to be fair, in that little battle. Blue flag rules, it's very much dependent on the overtaking car to make the overtake happen. We don't expect lap cars to leap out of the way by any stretch of the imagination, but they shouldn't also be holding up leading cars. So Rick's not, Ickelpants isn't close enough to Rick yet for that to be an issue, but if they came close in a corner, the expectation is that Rick could just sort of let off and let him by, which I'm certain he will do just that. Spadder's then on fresh tyres, lowish fuel, set purple sector times, fastest of anybody so far. Ickelpants then pits in the BMW. Stretched his stint a lap longer than Spadder's, so it'll be very interesting to see where the Honda ends up in relation. LS Dano also pits as well. Of course, he's not involved in this little scrap. This is a direct fight for P2 that you are watching. It's to see if Spadder's comes out ahead of Ickelpants. Of course, Ickelpants' tyres will be that little bit fresher when he does emerge from the pits, and it all comes down to fuel load as well. If Spadder's did a good job on fuel, Ickelpants is coming out now, and Spadder's has picked up a vast yawning chasm of time. He's got loads of time then on the BMW. What is the gap now? Don't forget they were the other way around. That gap, 3 seconds now. 3 seconds now is the gap between Spadder's and Ickelpants. So the BMW then, with all the work to do in the closing stages of races and just picking up a little bit of a penalty as well. So the McLaren also pitted. Dano's pulled some time then on the McLaren. Fabuki's race suddenly is looking like it may be a defensive one. Surely the rubber on those wiper blades is down to a nub now. And Dano is going to go in full shark dog attack mode. Pilo not far away either, so this is turning into a three-way fight for fourth. We do think KB will pit and emerge from the pits in the lead of the race. The gap he built up was that big. We don't think Spadder's and Ickelpants can really do anything about KB at this moment in time. We don't, of course, have safety cars in this game, which is quite infuriating, because I think that the odd safety car here and there would certainly spice up the racing. So yeah, KB pits. He's got the medium tyres on. Of course, he hasn't taken them yet, and he is already just coming out of turn 1. Spadder's just coming across the line now, so the gap is about 10 seconds on between those two cars. About 3 seconds between Spadder's and Ickelpants, and then Fabuki not far away, but Fabuki's got more to worry about in the case of LS Dano, who's actually gained a little bit of time on, to be fair. LS Dano's last lap wasn't brilliant. Pilo's also lingering. There's a big gap back then to Fat Pickles Bro. With B-rated kind of just on his own, so Fat Pickles Bro and B-rated just kind of running their own races at the moment. They've got no other cars around. With Rick and Total Rose both setting personal best laps on lap 24 after the pit stop phase. As you can tell, both these guys down with Total Rose's time of 30.3, very, very respectable. That was a great lap then from the Citroen. Compared to Rick's lap, which was a 31.0, so Total Rose about 7 tenths faster that lap. So that's another 30 as well, 30.7. So yeah, he's about 9 tenths faster that lap as well. So Total Rose is really starting to turn the screw now. They are not a million miles away from being lapped by KB. That could of course happen. Spadder says his personal best lap time so far, and Ickelpants is down in the 31, so the BMW is struggling then at this phase of the race. He's of course on the medium tyre, so he's going to always struggle against a car on softs, hence the low 31 lap times. very, very respectable time for the medium tyre, of course. Fabuki's not necessarily dispatched of Deno, but Deno's not gaining on him. About whether this Citroen here, driven by Total Rose, can get himself back past Rick GTR. We are down to just 9 minutes remaining then in this race. Not a long time to go. That 9 minutes will fly by when you're having fun battling an opponent. Of course, Total Rose will be looking for all the suck down the main straight. Line yourself up for a move through the chicane, make your opponent go offline. If you can make them do that, slow them down enough, it makes an overtake at the hairpin very, very realistic. As always, Rick GTR carries too much speed then into the first phase of the corner, tries to make it up on exit, can't do so because there's a curb in the way. Total Rose, who just takes a little risk, I felt he didn't need to make then, he just absolutely battered the sausage curb. Don't think he needed to make that risk. A cleaner exit would have been sufficient. He's going to go for the cutback here potentially. If he can get on the power, the Honda is good at that initial acceleration, and Rick does get it tidied up enough on exit. Good defensive driving then by Rick. Total Rose is having a bit of a job on just trying to get back past the Honda NSX. We'll have a little bit of another run through the field then as we come towards the final 7 minutes of racing. It's hard to take your eyes off this battle though. Between Rick and Total Rose. Total Rose is looking again for another little gap. He's not going for it here. Probably wise. If you go for a move here, your opponent's only going to slipstream you back again, and the straight here at Dragon Trail is just long enough for that to happen. So Total Rose hanging back for the time being. Again, just set himself up. Look, he's just filling the mirrors of that Honda. Rick's not defending it though. Almost inviting the move. A lot of tidier this lap round for Rick. And again, Total Rose just taking risks. I've commentated on far too many races where that sausage curb has just thrown people off the circuit. It's just not worth it. Anyway, get back up to the top, have a look at KB. There he is in all his glory, leading the race by a considerable margin, 10.7 seconds. He is of course on the medium, so Spadders might chop away his lead a little bit, but with the time remaining and the gap, it's going to be difficult for the Honda to really do too much about the Mercedes. He will reduce the gap, I'm confident of him doing that, but getting close enough for an overtake's a completely different gravy. Equal Pants dropped away. He is on the medium tyres, don't forget, so Fabuki catching him is a very realistic possibility. Equal Pants firmly in the 31s, mid to low 31s. Fabuki's low 30s, so Fabuki should be in overtaking range in another lap or two's time. Will we see a McLaren versus BMW battle? Deno hasn't really caught Fabuki up that quickly, despite the fact he's put quite a few good laps on the board. Pilo's matching him sort of lap for lap pace wise. As we said before, Fat Pickles and B-Rated not getting a lot of coverage in this video purely because there's not really anyone else around them. And again, Total Rose, he must love the sausage, because he's smashing that thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not fouled him yet, but we've just seen how nervous that Citroen is. He gets on the brake, he backs out. You've seen thought of that move there, actually, he just backed out of it at the very, very last second. He just got on the brakes a smidge earlier than he needed to, just because he didn't fancy it at that particular moment in time. Sometimes just sitting behind a car for a lap or two, figuring out what its strengths and weaknesses are, where you're naturally faster, where they have their It is, of course, two very similar cars in terms of engine layout, drivetrain, all that sort of thing. So the handling characteristics of the two should be relatively similar. The Citroen has a little bit of a wider track, so a little bit grippier. But it also makes it a little bit nervous, we've seen as well. It just doesn't seem to like being driven around the circuit. Toto's has had a bit of a job on. It's a very futuristic, weird looking French thing, but there we go. Let's have a little bit of a quick check back on Ickelpants v Fabuki. This is of course for a podium position, so I'm very interested to see. McLaren and podiums are very much synonymous at the minute. Cough cough Lando Norris. So we'll see if Fabuki can emulate him and get himself back onto a podium. Of course, he's trying to dispatch a BMW, not a Renault or anything, but same gravy. Oh, as Ickelpants said, the grip offered by these mediums just isn't as much as what he's probably used to. Now Fabuki's going to be able to get a little bit of extra slipstream down that main straight. Not close enough for a move here yet, but he can start to think about where that move might happen, and big braking zones are probably going to be his friends. Actually, he's got a great run through turn one. He's alongside. You saw the distance was nowhere near enough on the entry to that corner, and by the time we got to the end of it, Fabuki was there, and that is an example of how that curve can bite there. As Ickelpants just nails it just to try and get a good exit. The BMW won't let this position go easily, but he hasn't really got the tyres underneath him to fight it too much, as Fabuki probably will now just drive away into the distance with those soft tyres. Can Deno catch the BMW? He's not far away and he's doing good laps. Ickelpants' teammate could well be called upon to do some disruptive attacking on the Mercedes right about now, just to put Deno off and attack in stride. Total Rose then still ahead of Rick. A little bit of light flashing going on then between these two, not sure what's behind that. Let's see if we can see anything on offline instant replay cam. Yep, I went, I looked, I didn't see anything wrong. It was another overtake down here at the hairpin last lap. Rick just with a bit of a poor exit. So Rose just slid past him. Something else we've not seen is Ickelpants and Fabuki. So yeah, I just wanted to show you just that overtake from Fabuki. Just look at the corner speed the McLaren can carry. The BMW on the medium tyres just doesn't have the grip, and that was a very nice move there by Fabuki to get himself up into a podium spot. And of course, Spadders and KB quite a way away now. In terms of the gap between these two, it was just under 11 seconds when we last checked. He's still at 10 seconds, so KB obviously heeded a call from his engineer that he was at risk of potentially being caught near the end of the race, and just popped his foot down a little bit and maybe used up a little bit of that extra fuel that he's been carrying to just dump some more pace, and has been doing very, very good pace as well. Ickelpants now down to P4. As we have said, whether Deno can do anything about him, we're not too sure. We will see if Pilo can disrupt that, of course. And these two cars have spent the entirety of the race almost on their own, suddenly find themselves very close together. Like before, a bit of a mistake from Fat Pickles Bro. He's gained 3 seconds somewhere. That is going to give B-Rated the impetus to try and go on the attack then and pick up some extra points for Team Citroen. The other half of this team, of course, is fighting with Rick near the back of the pack. Of course, that fight has settled mostly now. It's a little bit further up the track then. His teammate, B-Rated, going on the attack against a V12 Aston Martin. And when would you ever hear the words uttered that a Citroen is putting an Aston Martin under pressure? A V12 Aston Martin, to say the least, as well. That is a glorious sim racing, ladies and gentlemen, as we can have these weird and wonderful combinations. B-Rate's fuel though. His fuel situation is a little bit on the delicate side. He should be okay. I actually think for once Fat Pickles has put too much fuel in. He's got a quarter of a tank left. These races, of course, 50 minutes, so another minute remaining. Let's just flick through the pack and see if anything's happening. KB is going to get a 33rd lap in. So will Spadders. Fabuki now relatively clear of Equipants. With LS Deno, he's gaining. He has definitely been reeling him in, but there's not enough time really for Dano to do anything about it. And actually, he has got Pilo, which is more of an immediate threat. Oh, Rick, something's happened. Oh, there's a big accident there. Lots of damage to that Honda. And is it the sausage? What's happened to him? Oh, just picked up too much throttle on the exit, and that spun the Honda all sorts of weird and wonderful ways. Yellow flags are out then, so drivers have just got to take that extra little bit of caution through sector 1 as there is a Honda recovering. Right, both the Mercedes and the BMW struggling over that curb. Right, coming back to Fat Pickles v B-Rated. I think these guys are going to be the first ones to finish, and actually B-Rated, is he going to get the move here? This is going to be a photo finish then? I think Fat Pickles with that V12 Aston Martin will just have the legs. Let me go back and watch that. So that was a nice little move there by B-Rated. But a Citroen versus an Aston in a straight line fight. The Aston, of course, able to use all the fuel in the world to rev that thing out. B-Rated, because he had to give each other space. B-Rated just couldn't get on the throttle quite as early as Fat Pickles could. Yeah, very, very close between them. 2 7th and 8th for Fat Pickles and B-Rated. Total Rose is going to just about snag P9. Of course, that battle between him and Rick was one of the definite highlights of this race. Total Rose coasting. Of course, well, in fact, I just got back. What I was going to say, it's just well worth congratulating KB, someone we've not focused on too much during the race because he's mostly been leading the race on his own, up front, with no one else around him. But KB36 in the Mercedes takes the win here at Dragon Trail Gardens. Spadders may run out of fuel actually, but he's not immediate. He has run out of fuel. There he goes, the engine cuts out, 100 metres from the line. Spadders takes P2. Fabuki, plenty of fuel in that McLaren, he can rev the nuts off it. He comes home P3, a well-earned result then for him. Why is Total Rose waiting? Equipants in P4, Deno in P5, Pilo in P6. Total Rose hasn't finished the race and he's sat on the brakes. He's waiting for Rick. What, is that the... Oh, okay.